Welcome back. As I mentioned in the introduction last week, we're going to begin a step-by-step look at each of the five in the big five different aspects of personality in those domains, and we're starting today with openness. Now, as you may remember, openness is being eager and able to learn from others in new experiences, even if they are very foreign to you and even think differently from your particular worldview. So it's truly being open to learn from other people in new situations. Now, openness and extroversion and agreeableness and possibly even conscientiousness may sound like a lot of that overlaps. So with each of these five, I'm going to start with a very quick summary of each so you can see the different focus, and then we'll get into splitting into some of the more specifics of each domain. Openness concerns our internal receptivity to new experiences and ideas, whereas conscientiousness concerns our external action, extroversion concerns our internal energy, agreeableness concerns our external relationships, and neuroticism concerns our inner and external self-control. So as you may remember from the introduction, the purpose of the Big Five is to help see how individuals fit into an environment. It's not saying that a particular domain and how it's scaled in high or low is good or bad, but what is an appropriate fit of that person to a environment, a role in a family, a role in a job, a position in a sports team, or anything else. It's to bring greater awareness of the person's appropriateness to that position, needs for training and development, self-awareness, as well as how others see them as members of the team. So each domain links a person to an environment and addresses motivation. Why are they the way they are? Not just how might they react or how might they respond in this particular domain, but where does that come from? For example, openness wants to learn, wants to grow in understanding, and is willing to think outside the box. That being said, of all the domains, openness is inherently the most difficult to put into a box or to define very neatly, because it is the willingness to think broadly or receive information and receive experiences broadly. It's very important, however, because it really helps us understand why some people are willing to say yes, why they don't interrupt others, why they want to hear more about somebody's idea, or they're willing to try new things. It's not simply that they're wishy-washy or don't have any interest, but they have many interests, and they're truly open-minded and open-hearted to new experiences and new people. The polar disposition of openness is being conventional or traditional. Now, in some explanations of the Big Five, they will say that the polar disposition is pejorative. They might say it's being closed-minded or narrow or critical of others. I choose to see it in more positive ways, because there can be great benefit in openness, but depending on the function of that person in an environment, there can be benefit to being more traditional or conventional. Depends on what the role of that person or the responsibilities of that person are in that environment. Openness will also manifest in a spectrum of experiences broadly and deeply. For example, aesthetics, creativity, activities, emotions, ideologies, values, etc. If somebody is truly open, whether they scale a little open or very open, you will see that in many different facets, not just in what they think about, but what they're willing to do, emotions they're willing to show, experiences they're willing to receive. You'll see it on a broad spectrum of reality. Some of the benefits of high openness are as follows: an increased attention to all information for decisions, learning more quickly in new environments and cultures, and to be more inclined to empathy with others who are different. So as you can tell, having somebody who is open on your team has a lot of benefits. There can also be some challenges to high openness. Their interest in new information may slow their decisions because they want to learn more. Their diverse interest in many experiences may strain their commitments to one or some paths or plans or decisions. They can also seem indecisive or fickle to others who are more conventional. So it really depends on the perception of the other person as to how they're handling their openness. Here's a bottom line recommendation I'll make to you in each one. Measure the need for your openness by your fit to the immediate environment. It really does depend on what the environment needs from you, that environment being the group that you're in, the situation you're in, the timing you're in, and ask what is most helpful and honorable in that situation. Hope that makes sense. Tune in next time. We'll take a look at the next of the big five, which is conscientiousness, and I hope to see you then.